Thank you so much. My name is Teacher Caleb Nyakundi. Today, I am privileged to take you through our English lesson. I am a teacher. I teach in the KBA group of schools, Maziwa campus, and I am glad that you are joining me today so that we can have a look at a very interesting topic in English, which is one of the parts of speech, that is conjunctions. And today, I want to have a look at a specific type of this part of speech, which is correlative conjunctions. But before I take you to correlative conjunctions, there are other types of conjunctions that I want us to have a look at. So this type of conjunctions are the coordinating conjunctions, Then we also have the subordinative conjunctions. So a conjunction is a phrase that joins together two words or phrases or clauses. A phrase that joins together two other words, phrases, or clauses. So what is a coordinating conjunctions? Coordinating conjunctions are words that join independent words, independent phrases, and independent clauses. There is an acronym to remember these type of conjunctions, the coordinating conjunctions. That is, you write fun boys. You write there, fun boys. You write fun boys that way. So the F there, this F will stand for the conjunction for, while this A will stand for the conjunction and N will stand for the conjunction nor, while B will stand for the conjunction but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet, and S stands for so. S stands for so. So we go there, S stands for so. Those are the coordinating conjunctions. Then I also want us to have a look at the other type of conjunctions, that is the subordinative conjunctions. Subordinative conjunctions are a type of conjunctions which are not really known. They are used to join dependent clauses. I told you in coordinative conjunctions, they join independent clauses, but subordinative conjunctions join dependent clauses. They are like although, because, since, unless, when, and while. So these subordinative conjunctions, their work is to join dependent clauses. Let me give you an example in a sentence. An example in a sentence. I get over my nausea. I will never be an astronaut. So unless can be used to join that dependent clause, those dependent clauses. Unless I get over my nausea, I will never be an astronaut. Another example, Marina is excited because it is her birthday. Marina is excited because it's her birthday. So because there is a subordinative conjunction joining Marina is excited and because it's her birthday. So today, on our lesson today, we are going to have a look at correlative conjunctions. A correlative conjunction, therefore, is a pair or a phrase that joins two other words, phrases, or clauses. These conjunctive pairs, as they are sometimes known, are used commonly in everyday communication. When using correlative conjunctions, ensure that your verbs agree so your sentences make sense, so that your sentences can make sense. For example, and there is an example there on your screen. Every night, either loud music or fighting neighbors wake John from his sleep. Every night, either loud music or fighting neighbors wake John from his sleep. So either or is used there as a pair of a conjunctive word or a pair of correlative conjunction which joins those independent clauses. Every night, loud music wakes up John. Every night, fighting neighbors wake up John from his sleep. So to join them together, we are using a correlative conjunction, which is either or. When you use a correlative conjunction, you must be sure that pronouns agree. A pronoun is a word that is used instead of a noun. So, for example, instead of saying Teacher Caleb, you can say he. So you have used a pronoun there. For example, neither Deborah nor Sally expressed her annoyance when the cat broke the antique lamp. Neither Deborah nor Sally expressed her annoyance when the cat broke the antique lamp. Expressed her. Her there is a pronoun. It's used in its singular because neither or nor means no one. Not Deborah, not Sally. So it is singular, and therefore you must make sure that your pronouns agree when you are using these types of conjunctions, which are the correlative conjunctions. Moving next to our examples, to more examples today. Examples of correlative conjunctions. She is both intelligent and beautiful. So both and there have been used as a pair of correlative conjunctions to join the two statements. I'll either go for a hike or stay home and watch TV. Either or. Jerry is neither rich nor famous. Neither nor. He is not only intelligent but also very funny. So not only but also there tells you more about that statement. It joins intelligent and it also joins funny. So that is just but an example of these types of conjunctions. So moving on to our next example. As is also a correlative conjunction. You have had similes that say, for example, as as black as coal. As black as coal. So black and coal. So that one gives you coordinates or conjoins those two clauses, as black as coal. So as is a type also of correlative conjunctions. Let me take you to my next page. So as we have talked about it, you can eat as much as you want. She is as tall as her brother, right? He is as good a cook as his wife. He is as good a cook as his wife. So those are some of the examples where we use as. Our next pair of correlative conjunctions that we are going to have a look at is both and. Both and. So both and gives you more joins two phrases, joins two clauses, or joins two words. So an example is I have been to both Paris and London. I have been to both Paris and London. You can also say my mother bought me both shoes and a dress for my birthday. My mother bought me both shoes, a pair of shoes, and a dress for my birthday. So either or. Let me give an example where we can use either or. So we can use either or in such a way. You can say either the teachers or the students are wrong. Either the teacher or the students are wrong. So meaning one of them. And remember, when you use this type of correlative conjunction, it indicates singularity. So you will use a singular pronoun. You will use a singular pronoun for your pronoun to agree with that correlative conjunction. Either the teacher or the students are wrong. Hardly when is what we are also going to have a look at. Hardly when is also a correlative conjunction. So hardly when is used to also join two statements that are independent. Hardly had I arrived home when it started raining. Hardly had I arrived home when it started raining. So there you mean that you had barely arrived home. You were almost arriving, but you had not yet arrived home. Then the rain started. Another correlative conjunction that we are going to have a look at is if then. If then. If then. Let's have a look at that example there. If I use correct punctuation, then I will include commas where necessary. If I use correct punctuation, then I will include commas where necessary. If I use correct punctuation, then I'll include commas where necessary. Can you have more examples at home where you can use if and then? I'll be glad to have your feedback through the numbers displayed on our screen. Just as and so is another pair that we want to have a look at. Just as and so. Just as the English love soccer, so do the Americans love baseball. Just as the English love soccer, so do the Americans love baseball. To mean that similar, or to mean the same way the English love soccer is the very same way the Americans love baseball. A very interesting correlative conjunction there. So moving forward to our next pair is neither nor. Neither nor. So neither nor, that one tells you that not this nor the other one. So let me give a sentence to illustrate further. Neither latecomers nor truant students will be spared by our deputy head teacher. Neither latecomers nor truant students will be spared by our deputy head teacher. To mean our deputy head teacher will not spare any of those. He will not spare truant students. He will also not spare the latecomers. So we move forward to not only but also. Not only but also. That one gives you more information. It gives you more information. It tells you that there is some information that you need to add there. Not only but also. Not only did I go to town, but also bought some mangoes. Not only did I go to town, but I also bought some mangoes. But I also bought some mangoes, or but also bought some mangoes. Not only but also adds therefore to your list. Adds therefore to your list. It brings those two independent clauses together and tells you more information about what you did. So not only but also. Not only did the teacher come early to class, but also taught very well. Not only did the teacher come early to class, but also taught very well. That is well understood. So let's move to our next pair today. No sooner than. No sooner than. And this one is very common, especially in the national exams. No sooner than. No sooner than indicates that that thing that you wanted to see happen had actually not happened. It had actually not that thing that was supposed to happen had happened, but another thing had happened a few moments before. No sooner had I arrived home than Dad also knocked the door. I had just arrived home. Then my dad or my father also knocked the door. No sooner had I arrived home than my father knocked the door. So it is not same to hardly when. Hardly when means that you had not arrived. Hardly had I arrived home when my father knocked the door. So you had not arrived yet. But no sooner, you had already arrived. That is the difference between those two interesting correlative conjunctions. No sooner than and hardly when. Not but. Not but. And an example is given there because it is not very common. The park was known not for its amenities but for its location. The park was known not for its amenities but for its location. So not there and but is used as a correlative conjunction to join those two independent clauses, that the park is not known for its amenities, but the park is known for its location. Correct. So let's move forward to another interesting example, that is rather than. Rather than. Rather than. Let me give an example. I would rather be poor than be corrupt. I would rather be poor than be corrupt. So I'd rather be poor than be corrupt. Those two independent clauses there are joined using this pair of correlative conjunction rather than. Do you be having more examples? I would like to have your feedback and to have more examples, and any other question that may arise, I'll be glad to answer to read. Another one that we are going to have a look at is scarcely when. Scarcely when. Scarcely when is also a correlative conjunction. It's used together in a pair, scarcely and when. It is almost similar to hardly when. Actually, they are used in the same manner. Scarcely when and hardly when are used in the same manner. So you can say an example in a sentence. Scarcely had I arrived home than it started raining. I have given a similar example to that one that I had given when explaining hardly when, so that you can get the similarity of those two correlative conjunctions. Scarcely had I arrived home when it started raining. I had not yet arrived home. Then it started raining, but I was almost arriving. Maybe you were only some meters away from your home. Then it started raining. Scarcely had I arrived home when it started raining. Do not use scarcely with than. No, do not use scarcely with than. Than is used with no sooner. No sooner is the one that is used with than as a pair. Scarcely is used with when as a pair. So as is the next. So as. So as. So as, and I will be happy to give you more examples. So let's continue, then I'll give more examples in the next page on these three remaining in my list. Whether or is also a type of conjunction, and the more, I want to give an example because it is not very common. The more I study, the more I pass. The more I study, the more I pass. The more I don't study, the more I fail. The more I don't study, the more I fail. So it's also a very interesting one. So up to that point, I would like to give you an exercise. I'd like to give you an exercise which we shall go through. So the following exercise will help you to gain greater understanding about how correlative conjunctions work. Choose the best answer to complete each sentence. Our first sentence there is, she is neither polite dash funny. She is neither polite dash funny. So, students, can you remember what we talked about? Neither. It is used together with nor. It's used together with nor. To mean she is not polite. She is also not funny. She is neither polite nor funny. So the correct answer there is B, which is she is neither polite nor funny. Now, moving on to our next exercise, the next exercise that we are going to have a look at is dash, that is the case, dash, I am not surprised about what's happening. Dash, that is the case, dash, I am not surprised about what's happening. If that is the case, then I'm not surprised about what's happening. No sooner that is the case than I'm not surprised about what is happening. Sounds funny. Scarcely that is the case when I'm not surprised about what's happening. whether that is the case, or I'm not surprised about what is happening. So the correct answer there is, if that is the case, then I am not surprised about what is happening. If that is the case, then I am not surprised about what is happening. So there, remember, we have shown examples on how to use neither nor and how to use if and then. But I wish to remind you that when we use neither nor, then we are ready to use pronouns that agree with neither and nor. So those are singular pronouns, because neither nor means no one, not one. So it indicates their singularity, and your sentence to be grammatically correct, then you need to use it correctly using the correct pronoun. Using the correct pronoun which agrees, a singular pronoun. If then, as we have seen, if that is the case, then I am not surprised about what is happening. If that is the case, then I am not surprised about what is happening. It is also used as an independent clause. That is the case, I am not surprised about what is happening. Those two are independent clauses. Correlative conjunctions do not join together dependent clauses. Dependent clauses are joined together by another type of conjunctions that I started by saying, which is the subordinative conjunctions. There's some more work. Some more work there. Okay. Have you made a decision about dash to go to the movies dash not? Have you made a decision about dash to go to the movies dash not? Have you made a decision if to go to the movies then not? It doesn't make sense. Have you made a decision either to go to the movies or not? Not really. Have you made a decision whether to go to the movies or not? Have you made a decision what with to go to the movies and not? Not really. So our correct answer there, as you should be thinking at home, is choice C. Have you made a decision about whether to go to the movies or not? Why? Because whether or are used together as a pair of correlative conjunctions, and they are the ones that suit that sentence. Let's move to question 4. Had I put my umbrella away dash it started raining. Had I put my umbrella away dash it started raining. This one is quite easy because I had given a almost similar example when explaining about a certain pair of correlative conjunctions. No sooner had I put my umbrella away than it started raining. That is the answer. It's quite easy. No sooner had I put my umbrella away than it started raining. Now the question there should be, had you put your umbrella away when it started raining? Had you put it away? I want you to send your feedback. But the answer actually is that you had not put your umbrella away, because the sentence is, no sooner had I put my umbrella away than it started raining. And I told you to remember and to note that no sooner is used together with than. and hardly is used together with when. So do not confuse those two pairs. Let's continue with our work. So we go on to the next exercise, to the next question. That is question 5. This salad is dash delicious dash healthy. This salad is dash delicious dash healthy. This salad is whether delicious or healthy, is both delicious and healthy, is scarcely delicious when healthy, is rather delicious than healthy, is okay. Now the third and fourth choice there, the third and fourth choice, that is the third and fourth choice, scarcely, when, and rather than, are there to confuse you. They are called distractors. This salad is both delicious and healthy. That is the correct answer. I hope you are getting these questions correct at home. So we move on to question 6. I like to sing. I like dash to sing dash to spend my spare time practicing dances. I like dash to sing dash to spend my spare time practicing dances. I like not only to sing but also to spend my spare time practicing dances. I like whether to sing or to spend my spare time practicing dances. I also want you to note the punctuation of that sentence, that the first clause is separated from the second clause using a comma. That is the correct punctuation of such sentences. I like neither to sing nor to spend my spare time practicing dances. I like not to sing but to spend my spare time practicing dances. So our correct answer there is I like not only to sing but also to spend my spare time practicing dances. Spare time means your free time, or some can call it leisure time. Leisure time is also known as spare time. That is good. So can we continue with some more questions, or could you be having more questions for me? I'll be glad to respond to them. Let me take you to my next page. It also happens to be my last page today. The test was dash very short dash quite easy. The test was dash very short dash quite easy. The test was not very short but quite easy, was both very short and quite easy, was whether very short or quite easy, scarcely very short and quite easy. So the test was both very short and quite easy is your correct answer there. Question 8. It asks, dash Joe dash his sisters could understand what their parents were saying when they spoke French. Joe, his sisters could understand what their parents were saying when they spoke French. Whether Joe or his sisters, no sooner Joe than his sisters. It's a funny one. Rather Joe than his sisters, neither Joe nor his sisters would understand. So what is your take there? As for me, the correct answer is neither Joe nor his sisters could understand what their parents were saying when they spoke French. Neither Joe nor his sisters could understand what their parents were saying when they spoke French. So neither nor there tells you that Joe did not understand what his parents were saying, but also his sister did not understand what their parents were saying when they spoke in French. So that marks the end of our exercises today. I want to take a few questions. I see there are questions that are coming here. Let me take you to the page where we have the list of the correlative conjunctions in case you want to note them down. Somebody is asking me, can you repeat the types of conjunctions? I said there are 3 types of conjunctions. That is the ones that I have handled, the correlative conjunctions, the subordinative conjunctions, and also the coordinating conjunctions. And I talked about coordinating conjunctions. I gave you an acronym that you can use to remember them anytime. That is the fan boys. F for A for and, N for no, B for both, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so, fan boys. Another question is asking, Ambani from Nairobi asking, where do we find conjunctions like moreover, nevertheless, appearing to? In another question, do conjunctions help us to make conditional sentences? Yes. Conjunctions help us to make conditional sentences. So, like unless you take me out on Sunday, I will not wash the dishes. That is a child giving a condition to his parent. Unless you take me out on a Sunday, I'll not be doing the dishes. Okay? So they also help us to make conditional sentences, mostly the subordinative conjunctions. In another question, where do we find conjunctions like moreover, nevertheless, and appearing to? Okay, moreover and nevertheless. Moreover and nevertheless, where do we find them? I have talked about this before, and I said that the subordinative conjunctions, actually there are very many, the subordinative conjunctions, but I'll find time also to go through them. I cannot go through all of them, but they lie under the subordinative conjunctions, which are quite a number. They are quite a number. The most common type and the easy type is the coordinating conjunctions. If the formula, somebody is asking for me to repeat the formula for coordinating conjunctions. The formula for coordinating conjunctions is quite simple. I said it is fan boys. Fan boys means, so you write fan boys, F for, A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. That is the acronym to remember the coordinating conjunctions. You write fanboys with an A. All right. Sorry, I did not get the question well. a coordinating conjunction. Somebody is asking the definition of a coordinating conjunction. A coordinating conjunction, as I wind up, is the type of conjunction that joins two words, two phrases, two clauses that are independent. Let me give an example in a sentence. Teacher Moses and Teacher Claire teach CRE. Teacher Moses teaches CRE. Teacher Claire teaches CRE. Those are two independent clauses. To join them together, we use a coordinating conjunction and, where we join them together to say in a sentence, Teacher Moses and Teacher Claire teach CRE. So unless there is another question, that marks the end of my lesson today. Watch these lessons every Monday to Friday in Elimu Live here in KUTV from 8:15 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. So you can also follow on the Facebook pages live. That will be KUTV Kenya and KUTV Kenya on both YouTube and Twitter. Goodbye for now. See you in our next lesson.